Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to show you how to take this project and look a little bit at travel distances. So you may have a building like this, you may have an office building or some sort of building, and you want to calculate travel distances and calculate how long it takes or how much distance it takes to get to a space. And I think this is a very useful graphic to be able to utilize in Revit. And so I have this level 3 that we created. Typically what I'll do to start is I'll start by duplicating it. And I'm going to duplicate with detailing. It depends what you're trying to do, but I think that's often the best way to do it. And let's start by renaming this, and we'll call this level 3 life safety. Level 3 life safety plan. And so our travel distances actually exist under Analyze. And under Analyze, we have the ability to do travel distances, and it's called route analysis here. And so you can actually drag and grab and pull these components out. And so let's go to path of travel. And typically when we're doing travel distances, we want to go from one point to another. And in this case, we want to go from here, and we really actually want to go all the way to our staircase. And here it's actually not able to find a route because there is actually no doorway. And so let's do that. So let's go and add a door in here. And so we'll add a door like this, and we'll add a door into this staircase because we actually never did that either. And so now we should be able to drag our arrow over, and it'll automatically bend this route across here. So say, for example, we don't like how this line is diagonal. We can go up here and click Add Waypoint, and we can just add a dot here, and we can bring this dot maybe somewhere neatly in our room. And then we can do the same thing down here. Maybe we want add another dot, and we can add that waypoint so that this arrow is much cleaner in terms of its route. And so that'll certainly increase the length of this line, but it makes it a little bit simpler. And here we have our path of travel line. When we're doing path of travel, this green line for me works really nicely, but we can actually go under under manage, additional settings, line styles, and under here you'll have a path of travel line type. Path of travel. So sometimes you may want to increase this. Maybe you want to go to a much thicker font. Maybe you want to change the line type, up to you. Maybe you want to change the color, but that's how we change the color and the line type. And now we have a little bit of a bigger, thicker line that's maybe a little bit more visual. In this, I might just hide all my section views here, and that can be a little bit easier to see. And when it comes to this path of travel, typically what I do in most projects is I will actually start to align the various paths so that they're kind of following the same trajectory. And before I do that, let's actually go in here and tag this path. And let me see if we have a loaded. We do not. Let's go to Insert. We're going to go to Load Autodesk Family. And we're going to go in here and we're going to type in path of travel. And let's go to path. Let's see if there's a line type here. Wasn't loading. Now let's go to all results here. Travel. Path of travel. There we go. Let's click load. And now we can tag this. And so I'm going to turn off. Let's go to annotate, tag. And let's turn off leader line. So we're just going to put this directly on our line here. And we can make it over top. And so we've got our distance there and our amount of seconds. Let's add some more paths of travel. We don't want to do multiple in this case because they're all kind of going to the same place. But we're going to basically bring this one over here. And you can see how it's kind of crossing through that same place. So what we can do here is I can add some more waypoints. So we can add a waypoint right outside this door or right inside the door if we wanted to. And let's add this waypoint right here. And then on this one, we can do the same thing, add a waypoint and bring it so it's kind of in the same spot, and then do the same for these ones. So again, it'll follow that same trajectory as that other line. So I like to do this because it keeps that line, that path of travel stuff, very neat and tidy. And really, you're just tagging this beginning part of the line. So I think that just makes this look a lot better. So we've got 60 feet in both directions. You can see how this actually is in feet. I know a lot of our projects, we actually do work in both metric and imperial. So let's actually go to Edit Family. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add a length in two different units. So let's increase the height of this box here. And let's bring this length up. And let's go to Label, Edit. And we're going to add length again. And we can actually click our edit, and we can change this one to be meters. Or actually, let's change this one to be feet and fractional inches. Let's do nearest inch, because I don't really think we need to do that. And I think that's fine. Feet and fractional inches. We could also just do feet, so it'd be a decimal. But I think feet and fractional inches works. And then this top one, I'm going to make this one in meters. So let's change this to metric meters. Let's do 2 decimal places, and we'll have the symbol be M. Suppress trailing zeros. I think that's good. And then what I'll do is in the bracket, on this bottom one, I'll do brackets around it. And we'll click break here. And so now this will look like this. So we'll have length and length. And let's load into project and close. Let's click no. I'm not going to save that right now. Probably a good idea for you to save it, but I'm just not going to. And so you can see here we've got our meters and feet for each one, and we can tell how long the distance to our path of travel to our egress stairwell is. And these ones, I would just need to add a door. So I'm just going to go to the architecture tab, go to curtain grids, and I'm just going to add a grid in here. So we have a 3-foot door in both of these units, and we'll add a maybe a 3-foot door. Maybe we'll add it to this middle one like that. Now I can click. I don't actually know if I have any curtain wall doors loaded in here. Let's unpin that glass and see if we have a door. I do not. Let's just go to Insert, Load as Family. Let's call this curtain. So we got curtain wall door single here. So let's load that one in. And we'll just change this to be our door. So now we've got a door in here. And then I usually delete the bottom mullion, because you don't want to have something to step over. We'll do the same over here. We'll delete that bottom mullion. And we'll change this to be a door as well. And so now on these units, we can have a path of travel as well. So, I mean, the washrooms, technically would be a space, but go to analog or root. Actually, I pulled that root part out here. And so now we can bring this down, and we can have it go to that same place. And then same time, I'll do this one here, same place. And then I'll do this one, same place. And we just need to create a door there. That's why it's giving me grief. Delete. And we can unpin that, change that to a door, and flip that swing in. And we'll just do one more path of travel here, and then I guess just a little bit of cleanup. And what I might do with some of these other ones, like it depends on where they're coming from, but let's add a waypoint to this one. Let's add a waypoint to this one. And this one, I'm just going to add one waypoint. Just so. And then maybe what we'll do is we'll actually move this dot over. And this one, we're just going to bring these dots up so they match. And do the same with this one. And this other one we won't touch. So it just makes that a little bit easier. And then we can tag these paths of travel as well. And usually before I forget, I'll usually try to push this back up here so I don't lose track of it and don't turn it off by accident. So let's go to tag category and we'll tag our lines. There we go. We've got our path of travel. And some of these rooms, depending on what they look like, you may want to do more than one path of travel, but I just try to find the most and I guess longest aspect for path of travel. And honestly, if this office is furthest away, I think, just by looking at it, you can tell that it's going to have the largest path of travel. And so some of these other offices maybe don't matter as much because that one has a large path of travel. So I would just kind of ignore the fact that it has a long path of travel because I'll ignore the smaller ones because the longer ones you can visually just see that it is. So there's another section here to hide. So that's how to create a life safety plan and how to have these path of travel diagrams on your life safety plan. Thanks for watching.